Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Midwest Dungeon Delvers. Tonight, we are continuing our story of the Six Sword Saga. Episode 17 of Source Code, The Aftermath. Let us return to the blinding white flash where we left off. Because, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what happens to these characters, no matter what happens in this story, they have become permanently entrapped within the simulation. When last we left the retinue, Ignis had found a new friend and compatriot, and the Burning Knight, an individual given the name Ed by the party. He was a half-buried knight's helm that was fused into the ground, into the center of the Cinder Shade Hollow, the place the energies of fire converged and tore through the rift. The curiosity of Ignis could not be swayed, and he unearthed said knightly helm, and even taking several molten metal forms of the fallen rift beasts with them back to the camp, and some mixing and matching was done until Ed himself was given a new body, and some freedom. The party, leery at some of the changes and things going on with Ed, but nevertheless kept him around. Conversations were had. Jin's unconscious form was given to Brother Varnell. And then a bandit troop attacked. A bandit troop in which Ignis managed to say that he was such a good tracker and scout that they didn't even miss in the caravan the scout Nysa, right as everyone was holding up their hands at arrow point from crossbow bolts and such. Though negotiations were done, promises made to these bandit troops to be made into Justicars themselves, they, feeling like this is probably the quick ticket to good food and good hearth, they jump on the opportunity, not knowing that Ignis is more than likely tricking them, so when he finally arrives in the city of Lukehill, he can just tell the guards that these bandits are on their way and take care of them that way. Ignis then went out on a scout run in the eve. He found a statue of an individual of the party. It was strange, but comforting. But then Ignis came back to the caravan after his scout run, and there was an eerie green glow that emanated from the wagon Jin and Brother Varnell were in. Upon approaching, Ignis saw a strange ritual being performed where swirling green energies of souls and life force were being withdrawn from Jin and eaten by Brother Varnell. For what nefarious purposes, no one knows, because Ignis immediately began to cast Eldritch Blast. Brother Varnell shouting, "No, no, wait!" sadly cutting into these green ties of soul energy with his teeth, causing a massive, blinding white light. Ignis, the ringing in your ears doesn't fade before your sight comes back. The blinding light was too much, and there are brief flashes in which you're trying to blink. You know your eyes are open, but all you can see is still this blinding white flash. Yet you're starting to make out shapes and movement. You blink several more times to clear, and even though you can't hear currently, you begin to see. First thing, the wagon that you should be standing next to, the wagon that you have a hand on the wooden frame, you still have your hand on it, you can feel it. But then it's lighter, and you lift your hand up, and you're holding just a chunk of wagon. And you are some 30 feet from where you once stood. And in the center of the caravan's wagons, there is a small crater. This explosion was not isolated to one wagon, and it becomes apparent that many wagons were damaged. Ignis, I need you to make a perception check for me.
All right. I'm very good at those. And by very good, I'm not good at all at those. 13.
At a 13, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm extremely good at those, and by extremely good, also not that good. 19, though.
Ignis, there is this small sense of acceptance that just comes over your eyes and heart as you, for sure, are looking at the dismembered corpse of Krell, the hobgoblin fur trader. Half of his torso is sticking out of the caravan's crater where it was, and the other half is hanging in a tree on the other side of the crater. You see the hand of the Bone Piper's bard still clasp around her knuckle bone flute. You see the hat and rucksack of the small halfling herbalist. But the thing that really makes it set in for Ignis, you see the left hand steel prosthesis of Torak Ironbrow, the dwarf. And that is all that remains of him. It is at this moment that your eyes adjust again, and you can clearly see Owen cradling the corpse of Jarek, the human mageite. You still can't hear. Then there is this brief moment where this pile of rubble to the side of the crater begins to move. Bramblefoot, I would like you to make a athletics saving throw to attempt to push lumber off of you and several other people from the caravan.
Athletics?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That would be an 8.
You struggle in vain. You the gnomish appraiser are both struggling as hard as you can physically, out of instinct, to push what is oppressing you off. It is in this moment that your mental faculties come to, Bramblefoot, and something happened. You were asleep, and now there is weight, there is heft, there is something to be moved. What would you like to do?
Use Match Hand.
All right. You begin casting the spell, and you can feel the magical essence like reaching down from above the pile that you are under, trying to find leverage. Make a spell attack roll for your Mage Hand.
Is that with or without proficiency?
I'll say with.
Dirty 20.
Ignis.
Mm-hmm.
In that, like, brief moment of, like, you're unsure if you're blinking and the wood pile is getting closer is just in your imagination, or if your body is moving on instinct to try and go to the pile. But then you see kind of ethereal magic hand prying at chunks of the wood and lifting, not entirely off, but just enough to have leverage and move it to the side and allow the escape of Bramblefoot, who was trapped under the wood.
I would like
Bramblefoot.
to run over and help lift it.
Okay. You rush over and help with the final push off of the wood that you can. You pull Bramblefoot out of the wreckage, Bramblefoot, and you turn around to pull the gnomish appraiser. I need you to make a perception check for me, Bramblefoot.
9.
You think she's good to go, and you reach in with Mage Hand to like help and pull her out, but you feel resistance. Ignis, from your angle, you can clearly see that one of the fractured pieces of wood shrapnel from the shattered wagons has pierced and impaled this gnomish appraiser to the ground, pinning her.
Is she conscious?
Yes. At the moment she is, and she... What's happening? What?
I just look at her and go, you're dead. You can either die quickly and relatively painless, or you can suffer under there, stuck to the piece of wood impaling you, and I point to where the wood's impaling her.
She looks down at the wound and sobs.
I can give you the mercy, though.
She looks at you with fear and regret in her eyes.
Do you have a message for anyone?
I never... And like blood is pooling out.
I just draw the sword and go ahead and give her a quick ending.
And with Ignis's mercy, Gila Gemai passes from the world.
What happened?
After we secure everyone else in the camp,
You find six survivors of the explosion. About 35 different individuals set out with you all on this caravan. And you find only 6 people alive after investigating and looking around. One of them is Donovan. The leader of the caravan. And the remaining 5 are individuals none of you interacted with. Brother Varnell is nowhere to be found.
What about Jin?
Make an investigation check for me.
$11.
You see the tattered remains of his otherworldly garment that he wore, his robes. Owen,
Yes.
is there anything that you would like to do after you see Bramblefoot and Ignis kind of rally after the explosion?
I look down at Jarek before I stand up. You kept the line when the world broke. I'll take over next.
His lifeless eyes look up at you with only the question of why.
I shake my head, for I don't know.
A moment passes after the survivors of the explosion gather. And then Donovan, who, looking at Torak's steel prosthetic, he breaks the silence and says,
Now I don't rightly know what caused such. This has never happened to me or my caravan in all my years. But I can tell ye this. Y'all hired me, this caravan, to see ye to the city of Lukil. And if by foot I have to guard ye to the gates, I shall.
you don't seem to think that his speech has had a good impact on the remaining 5, who all look distraught and worried for their safety.
Could I roll a history or arcana check? Density of rift occurrences in the area.
Yes. Go ahead and make an Arcana roll for me.
All right, let's see here. That's going to be 17.
17.
Oh,
Bramblefoot.
sorry. Yeah, 17.
17. As you are beginning to seek out signs and any sort of residual energies that could be studied, a pattern to follow, you see these tiny green threads of energy, almost like tattered fabric in a wind.
Do they look familiar?
You have no first-hand experience with this. But you can make a history check to see if you've studied anything in books while at Strixhaven.
Alright. Yes. 24.
24. Bramblefoot had a brief instance where he really enjoyed the study of humanoid rift creatures, ones that could be communed with. Legend, some say, but nonetheless, some scholars found their way to the villages of the Vendinari, and such writings were fascinating. These people who were so in tune with the people who came before, it was as if they communed together, having no separation between the living and those who have passed. There is no other way of seeing the energy that you see now, after all those years of study, other than the tattered strands of life force. Some of these threads looking so ancient and old that the life lost by that fabric being torn asunder is almost enough to make Bramblefoot tear up for what knowledge was just lost.
This is not good. I'm hardly an expert in most matters, but I am rather well read in the Rift. It has long since been my study to defend people from it. It seems like Rift occurrences are becoming more and more frequent. This could hardly be your fault, Caravan Master Donovan. It seems like a time of great risk is upon us, on the road or in the city.
Aye, your words speak true, Master Bramblefoot. I shall try to take that to heart.
Our best choice now is to get to the shelter of the city as quickly as possible. It might be risky, more risky than it normally is to be within city walls, but it's not as risky as being on the road.
Agreed.
I shall see if any of the wagons are salvageable and see what I can gather of the protective. Actually, and why don't you search for a redeemable wagon? Let me start gathering what remains of the ward to protect us on our way.
All right.
All right. Owen and Bramblefoot make investigation checks.
Since I'm trying to recover the ward, would it be possible for me to do Arcana instead?
I will allow it.
Appreciate it. I just realized it doesn't matter in either case. I get the same benefit.
Lol.
21.
21. Owen, what'd you get?
13 plus.
Investigation.
Didn't move. Double. 19.
19. Wonderful. All right. There isn't a
18.
There isn't a wholesale wagon that is salvageable, but there are pieces of several that could be retrofitted together to make one movable wagon.
I bust out the hammer and the crowbar and I get to work.
All right. Make a tinkering check. So I'll say dexterity. So roll a d20, add your dexterity modifier and your proficiency bonus.
20.
Nice. You spend the better part of the early morning towards noon in this construction, and feel free to interject into conversation as you are wont to. But for that period of time frame, you are working on the wagon.
Okay.
Bramblefoot, you managed to find several shards of the protection wards, and you find several casings of those lanterns that were holding said crystals. It seems like, based off of your Arcana check, whatever caused this wasn't something breaking into the ward. It was something breaking out.
Interesting. That was the narrator, right?
Yeah, that's the narrator to Bramblefoot.
Okay. Drats.
I'm going to keep that to myself, and I'm going to see if I can put together a word, preferably with a detection element, to help us get back where we're headed.
All right. I'll say another Arcana check for me.
Primarily what I'm trying to do here is I'm big on casting Detect Magic ritualistically,
Okay.
as well as Alarm. I want to see if I can build Alarm and or Detect Magic into the ward as I put it back together.
All right. Yeah. So taking several moments, you will ritualistically cast these spells, imbuing them into the ward. Give me a overall Arcana check to finalize the construction.
That will be 18 plus 6 or 24.
There you go. Bramblefoot, even though the study halls are not the most conducive spaces for practical usage of your skills, the field seems to be providing you with several opportunities. And you manage to perfectly craft a ward to your liking within its arcanic lantern housing. And I will say that takes you the better part of the morning as well. So the two of you are kind of working side by side. Ignis, what are you doing during all this?
I'm looking to see if Scribe, Victor, and Seneschal Reginald are amongst the living.
Make an investigation check.
That is a 16.
Your trail that you're following leads further away from the camp and the caravan than most of the rest of the party. The first piece of trail you pick up is a bloodied note. The handwriting very clearly describes further along, you manage to find not only Seneschal Reginald, but then Scribe Victor, right? That's the order? Yep. Scribe Victor has his arm in a first aid makeshift sling that Reginald has crafted for him. Reginald seems fine. Reginald seems like he wasn't anywhere near the wagons when all this happened, because he has bodies that he's carrying and he can't sit or lie down. So he was away from the campsite when it happened, leaned up against a tree. And you find the both of them. And the scribe winces as last bit of tightening on the sling happens, and Reginald says,
I did the best I could, but I don't know. I don't know if you'll be writing with that anytime soon.
And there's just this wince and then this slow nod from Victor, almost as if words are too exhausting right now.
I look at both of them. I go, oh, thank everything that you guys are okay.
They both look at you, and you see these tears of joy welling up in Reginald's eyes. You see this mix of happiness yet despair that Ignis survived from Victor.
I think I figured out what's cursed our whole trip since we left.
And what would that be?
Brother Varnell was some sort of demon thing. It was sucking the soul out of Jin. I think that's what's befallen this entire expedition.
You mean to say, Brother Farnell is a rift beast?
I think either that or some sort of creature that sucks the souls out of someone.
What?
I don't.
Like a vampire?
Kind of, but instead of drinking the blood of someone, he was. I explained like how Brother Varnell was like over Jin and was like sucking this vortex of stuff out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Scribe Victor goes, maybe there's something to find in my bag, and he reaches behind him for like his bag of books and scrolls, but he just hits air. It's like it's muscle memory for him to reach back for like a comfort book or something, and the bag's not there.
what happened to your bag?
I don't know. It must have been blown up in the explosion, or maybe it flew against something nearby. I don't know.
I'll go look for it. If you two want to get back, I know Owen and Bramblefoot are trying to figure out if any of the wagons are salvageable. You both should go rest for now. And I proceed to go wandering around looking for bags and books and notes and things.
All right. Make a history check for me, Ignis.
Ooh, that is a 9 on the die. And history is... Okay, so 3, so 12 altogether.
12. You recall that you saw a bit of parchment along the trail to finding these individuals. So it isn't hard for you to backtrack to that and then begin searching from there. And it takes you roughly the majority of the morning finding scraps and pieces. It seems like the force of the explosion blew the bag up against like a tree, and then that like ripped it open, and the wind and all debris and manner of things like have, you know, since torn through pages and things. So you are gathering scraps of parchment, scrolls that are strewn about, and books and tomes that have been damaged by dirt, and some of the pages are missing, out of order, but you manage to find what you think is the majority, if not all.
All right, and then I will take that back to both of them, assuming that they are in the camp area, and then realizing that I don't know what happened to Justicar's body, I will search for that next, and then...
Justicar's body is with Reginald.
Okay. And then Aldridge's body...
with Reginald.
Okay. And then I will proceed to do the rites for all of the dead.
All right. Make a
And be
religion
like, well,
check.
We don't need any undead creeping up on us that killed Aldridge.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's another 9. Religion. That's another 12.
Another 12. All right. You perform the rites. Ignis, deep down, there's a part of you that is just saying the words. But you feel this energy behind it, where, like, even though you're just saying the words to it, something or someone else is providing the magical essence to make this stick.
I just look over to Justicar's body and I just kind of like whisper out a thank you.
No response.
And then after that, kind of collapse on the with Victor and Reginald for a minute.
As you collapse, Owen finishes the wagon. And Donovan calls for everyone to gather up. During the head count, it becomes apparent Morthos and Thuriel are not amongst the wagon party.
Oh.
There is a brief holding as there was no bodies discovered of these individuals before Donovan says,
We can't stay too long. An explosion like that was bound to attract all sorts of manner of vile things.
I'll go look for him.
I'll climb him up on the wagon and hang a lantern on each of the 4 corners near the top.
all right. You place your arcane lantern wards.
I go with Ignis.
All right. Owen, Ignis, make an investigation check.
Oop. I got a 5.
I got a 16.
All right. Ignis seems to be like, I'll go look for him. But in reality, Ignis is kind of like good riddance on weakling Morthos, who never did anything.
I gave him a compliment last time. He finally did something, and
Yeah, he finally
people
did
didn't
something. Yeah, he didn't die. Good for him, right?
no one died. He helped, and no one died, thankfully.
Yeah. There's still a little bit of embitterment in Ignis,
Oh.
and so his effort for searching for signs is less than thorough. Owen, however, you see this faint trail of like arcane purple in the sky that is like piercing through the canopy in kind of a southeastern direction.
What color was it?
Purple arcane light.
All right. Hey, I slap Ignis on the shoulder. Look.
You are shown a brief flash of arcane light in the sky.
Does it look like it's like a residual after effect, or does it look like it's something moving off in the distance?
Something moving
What-
off in the distance.
What would my arcane senses tell me that something like that might be?
Well, make an arcane check.
All right. I will do that.
Does it look like it's getting closer or further away?
Further away.
11.
11. There's only one other time this type of energy has been seen by the party, and that was when Morthos like flew in and crashed down in the previous session of in the previous battle of Cindershade Hollow. One could infer that after what occurred that night, perhaps he no longer felt safe, or who knows?
I just look at Owen and I go, well, it's safe to say that he couldn't handle, not being that useful, and so decided to chuck it out.
We can... I don't know. He could be investigating something.
After the entire caravan's been blown up and everybody's basically dead, and our chances of survival have been greatly diminished, I think it's more jumping ship.
How far is the disturbance in the arcane?
Like how far away is it?
Yeah.
It is far enough away that
Ish.
you can't see the humanoid shape. You can only see the light.
We can't really. It's not like we can look off in the distance and see a dimly lit horizon, because it's like beyond the ward, right?
Yeah. It's not even that, because you guys are yourselves beyond the protection ward, because you're away from the wagon right now.
Yeah. So it's pretty far.
It's far away that you cannot make the details out of the individual.
Okay. And no odd bulges
No.
that can be perceived. Okay, let's get back.
I just kind of nod and agree and follow.
The two of you return back to the wagon, to the caravan. You return to a brisk pace in relative silence, at least the caravan people are. But if there's conversation that you all wish to engage in, now is the time.
Ever since I was a lad, well, when I was very young, my family was all killed by a rift beast. And my goal has always been to protect everyone from the Riftlands. That's why I study abjuration. It seems that a greater danger than I have ever seen or heard of is starting to move through the lands. Something tells me that Lukill will be less safe for us than we hope.
You have no idea how true that statement is.
Well, I'd better get back to studying warding then.
Alright. And the silence fills the rest of that day's journey. And by the morning of the next day, the wagon comes to a slow stop atop a hill. You see this field of rolling grain. Several farmsteads scattered about in this open field. The Maki River running through this land, passing into Lukiel itself. And you see the towering purple spires of the palace. You see the large wall that encompasses the city. You see a long bridge that goes over the river and a gate that kind of is in the middle most part of that bridge, like above an island. You see this gatehouse. And on the end of the bridge that is closest to all of you, you see a small building, roughly 2 stories, and it doesn't look like much on the outside, especially from this distance. But none of you can be mistaken, as Donovan lets out a long sigh.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after some delay and quite some loss, I present to ye the city of Lukiel, home of opportunity.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. Yeah.
We've made it.
A relatively short session tonight. But I feel like it's kind of a nice breather episode after some intensity, some digestion of some things that have happened. And I look forward to this next arc.
Talk about ending with a bang.
So, what
There
was
a
good?
kaboom.
What was bad? And what needs improvement? Let's start with you, Ignis.
The good, there was a earth-shattering kaboom.
Yes.
You know, it was
Was it
it was
great?
an emotional session of everybody's dead, for the most part. Donovan's going into retirement. Yeah, it was a heck of a session, even though it was a short one. As far as improvements or bad, I don't think there's anything really bad, or I don't really think anything needed improving. It was a good heavy session.
Yeah. Yeah, this one was heavy. Oh, thank you so much, Sonic, for the hydrate. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I needed that. Owen, I'll ask you a different question.
Okay.
What was the most emotionally resonant scene that happened tonight for you?
I didn't like the fact that I had to let Morthos go away. Sitting there between chasing further towards the figure versus going back to the wagon, it was quite the tear.
Dang. That surprises me, but like that's a good one. That's a good one to pick. Bramblefoot, what was good, what was bad, what needs improvement, or what was the most emotionally resonant scene for tonight?
Well, I gotta admit, I did not see that coming after last session ended. Did not realize that's sort of what we were stepping up into. But honestly, I really like this episode because it feels like we're kind of getting the feel of the stakes, you know? We've had several disasters along the way, several deaths, but none of it was really like, yeah, these things can just like wipe out an entire town in like a few minutes, kind of a thing, right? And that's not exactly what happened, but that's the emotion that's going through the group at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, beyond that, not really much to say. Looking forward to what happens next in a boy, I really hope nothing bad happens next kind of way. And just looking forward to seeing what
No
we
evil
can
laugh
do with
intended.
this.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy when you're playing a game like this to sort of get almost cartoonish, you know, where nothing really has any real stakes or anything like that. But this has really set things reminded us that there are some stakes to the game we're playing, and we're still going to have our lighthearted moments, but you got to be careful, or you could lose more than you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Very well said. I just want to thank, first and foremost, everyone who tuned in live here on Twitch. It was a blessing to have all of you here with us tonight, and I hope you were just as blessed by the telling of the story so far. The first arc of Source Code is finally done, ladies and gentlemen. The travel arc.
We finished the tutorial.
Only had to almost completely redo the entire group.
Next week, we will hopefully be back with the start of our next arc. Dipping our toe into the city of Lukiel. Well, until then, tune in whenever you can for Dragon's Dogma Online whenever we stream that, and check out the My First MMO videos on YouTube. If you don't have time for the streams and you just want to see some highlights of some great MMO action. I've never played an MMO, so this is my first one, and it's been a lot of fun. Also, tune in to Super Smash Quest on Mondays. That is going to be changing to Tuesday evenings towards the end of this month because of guest appearances and stuff. We'll work out schedules as time is allowing and stuff. But never fear, ladies and gentlemen, because at the end of the day, these characters in this story, have become permanently entrapped within the simulation.